Hey, it's nutritionist and maintainable weight loss coach Trisha Mandis here, and I'm super excited to do this free training with you, how to meal plan and prep even if you hate it. And the inspiration for this training was I asked in my Facebook group, Nutrition Superstars, what is the hardest part about eating healthy on a regular basis, right? We need to be consistent with it if we really want to get those long-term results. And the top thing said was meal planning and meal prepping. So I'm going to teach you and show you how to do that like a freaking rock star. But first, this is really important to know that for especially all the clients I have in my program, all the people I've talked to on the phone, meal planning and prepping has never been anyone's number one top problem that is preventing them from losing weight sustainably, getting off medication, especially if they're just starting out. So before you meal plan and prep, you have to be crystal clear on what it is you're planning and prepping. You have to be super clear on the eating plan that you're following, that you have to help you get the results that you want. Because if you're meal planning and prepping, but you're doing that with the wrong type of foods, then how much is that really actually helping you? So make sure that you have the correct eating plan for you before you get started. Hi, I see some of you are joining in. Feel free to ask questions whenever you want. I'm going to do my best to answer them, especially towards the end of this training. But please feel free to comment and say hi all throughout. All right. So now that we're clear on those two things, one, what you need most importantly is an optimal eating plan, so you know what the heck you're meal planning and prepping, and that it's most likely not your number one problem. But let's say you still want to meal plan and prep anyway. You definitely will eat better if you are doing this, because you don't have to eat at restaurants as much, and you have your shit together more, so to speak. So here are the 3 steps you need to take. And before I tell you them, this is what I want you to do. I want you to get your calendar or your planner out right now, because you need that to be successful. So if you don't have a calendar or a schedule, either pause this if you're watching the replay, or go get that, or do it directly after this training, because you need that to be successful. All right, here's the 3 steps you have to take. The very first thing you have to do is you have to intentionally decide what day of the week, what same day of the week am I going to prep a few meals for the upcoming week? When do I have 60 to 90 minutes every week that I can make some food? Look at your calendar, figure that out. You literally have to decide ahead of time, okay? So pull out your calendar, decide what date that is. For me, it's Monday nights, because I don't work out Monday nights. I work out in the morning. And on my planner, it says meal prep from 6 to 7 p.m. Once you decide that time, you have to set it as a recurring event on your calendar. You have to mark it off as busy, so nobody can schedule something, so you don't schedule doctor's appointments for your kids during that time. You have to prioritize it, and you're definitely not going to prioritize it if you don't have it on your actual calendar. All right, that's step 1. Let me know in the comments when you've actually done that. If it's not scheduled, it ain't happening, especially if you're a super busy person, okay? This might seem excessive now, but it's going to help you so much. All right, step 2. Once you have the day that you're actually going to be cooking and prepping some stuff for the week, you have to schedule when you're going to grocery shop, or when you're going to get your groceries delivered to you. I have quite a few clients and know a few people that get their groceries delivered to them, and so they don't have to go to the grocery store. So now on your calendar, if you are going to be prepping food on Sunday, you don't want to be grocery shopping on the day after, right? So prepping on Sunday, and then maybe you're going to the store on Thursday or on Saturday. Put that in your calendar. Schedule an hour in your calendar right now and make it a recurring event and mark it as busy. This is when I do this. So make sure you don't schedule this stuff at a time when you know it's not likely to actually happen. Don't force yourself to do something that like you're not really confident you're gonna be able to do it. Just don't do it then. Hi, Stephanie, glad you're here. All right, so we have those two things scheduled now. Yes, yes. When we are cooking, when we are grocery shopping. Now you have to schedule 10 to 15 minutes for the time you're going to take to plan what it is you're actually going to cook and make a list of the groceries you actually have to buy. So let's pretend you're prepping on Sunday. On Thursday, I think I said, we're gonna pretend that's when you're actually going to the store, when you're having your food delivered to your house. So maybe Thursday morning or Wednesday night, you take 10 to 15 minutes. That's all the time you need, and you decide what you're making, and you get the list of ingredients that you need, okay? That's it. Again, put it on your calendar, mark it as a recurring event, and make sure it's blocked off as busy so no one can interrupt you. Those are the 3 major steps you have to take. And then once you see that on your calendar now, you actually have to follow through with it. Okay, that I think might be one of the biggest problems for people. For my clients, my 1-year clients, I send them a recurring email once a week. This is the day that you said that you are putting your meal plan in place. I want you to email me back when it's done with your list so I can check it and go through it. So I know when they are supposed to be meal planning. I know when they're going to the grocery store, and I know when they're actually cooking. So I make sure that they are cooking something optimal, and then I hold them accountable to actually doing this and following through with it, just for the people who need. Some people are rock stars and they don't even do this, but everybody is a little different. Okay, so what if you hate meal prepping and meal planning? How do you do this? Well, here's a few things I want you to ask yourself. Ask yourself, what exactly do you hate about it? Even like write it out, write it down. What exactly do you hate about it? Okay, you want to be crystal clear on that. One of the things that was holding me back, because I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not a big meal prepper, meal planner, but I've been eating optimally for a decade. So it's not something essential that you have to do to be successful for most of us, but y'all wanted this training, so here it is. What exactly do you hate about it? One sabotaging thought I had recently was, I just don't feel like it. I don't feel like cooking. And then I was like, holy shit, that's my sabotaging thought around meal prepping. I don't feel like it. But then I thought to myself, there's a lot of things in life that I don't feel like doing, and I do them. And you know what? It's really not that bad when I cook. You can put a podcast on. You could put Netflix on and have your favorite show that you normally binge watch on the couch just in the TV. And something else that personally has been fun for me, as I have been doing this more lately, is it is joyous for me to have leftovers and then share them with other people. That brings, like, I don't know, it makes me feel good. So that's also cool. And then something else you can do, especially if you have a friend who's eating the same way as you are healthy too, is you both intentionally cook something to share it with the other person. And that is going to hold you accountable to cooking, and you're going to get a wider variety of food to eat because your friend is then bringing you food at the same time. So those are a few tips too. On a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being this is the worst thing in the whole world that I would never ever want to do, I would rather be dead than to do this. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you hate meal planning and prepping? Put that number in the comments. How bad is meal planning or prepping for you? How awful is it? I bet your number really isn't that bad. When you take a look at the things that you really don't like to do, I bet meal planning and prepping really actually isn't that bad. So then ask yourself, what are the other things that you do that you really don't like, but you still do them? Okay. So this is a superstar tip for meal planning and meal prepping, and that is a 5. Yeah, exactly. Michael Ann says a 5. Yes, so not really that bad, right? Not the best, but not the worst. Here's a superstar tip for you, and that is you need to treat, especially if you have your own optimal eating plan, you need to treat meal planning and meal prepping if this is something that you will not eat optimally unless you do this, you have to treat it like you would a doctor's appointment. If you have a doctor's appointment on your schedule, you are not going to just not show up because you didn't feel like it. You're not going to cancel it because the hairdresser called and you can get your hair cut, or maybe you would actually. You wouldn't not show up and because there is an optional work meeting, right? You would make sure that whatever was going on in your day, that you still made it to the doctor's appointment, right? You could say, and I fully believe this, that you eating optimally and continuously on a regular basis is a hell of a lot better and more important for your health than going to an annual checkup with your doctor. However, most of us prioritize going to see the doctor more than we do eating optimally or making sure we get the best food in our mouth for us. So we just have to reframe how we think it a little bit. Make it fun. And once you start eating optimally too, and you start feeling the results and you tasting how good the food actually is, it becomes way more enjoyable at the same time. If you're putting all this effort into meal planning and meal prepping, but your body still feels like shit and you're still in pain, that's not going to be nearly as fun. But when you're cooking food that you know is like the best medicine for your body, and you're seeing the results on the scale with your clothes being looser. This is a small t-shirt I just got like delivered, and I have to return it because I need to get an extra small because it's just too big. Okay. So me knowing that for myself, it makes it way more joyous to cook food and prepare it for myself, even for some of my clients that live around here for fun, because that's just what we do and how much we care about each other and how much of a family we become. So if you have any questions about meal planning or meal prepping, if you're watching this live or if you're watching the replay, please put them in the comments. I would be more than happy to answer them. I'm going to read through my notes for a hot second here, make sure I didn't miss anything, and give you a chance to post a comment or a question if you do have one. Don't hold back. Don't hold back. All right, one other point about when you are taking time to meal plan, make sure you have a few recipe websites or cookbooks available to look through. I also suggest planning a few really quick meals for the week that you don't have to actually cook when you are meal prepping on that day. So for example, when I did this with one of my clients this week, she's going to make a awesome potato dish, a dressing, and I'm gonna make a daily dessert, and we're gonna swap. So I didn't have her make the really easy pasta that she could do within 20 minutes at home on that meal prep day. We schedule that in for the days when she's busy, but does have a little bit of time that she can cook, and she can just do it on her own. So when you are meal prepping on your meal prep day, make sure you're doing making something you normally wouldn't throughout the actual week. That's going to serve you a lot better. And it is okay if you eat the same thing over and over again in an optimal system anyway, as long as you actually enjoy it. Okay. So I look forward to seeing if there's any comments or questions when you watch the replay. Let me know if this is helpful for you in any way. And if there's something you'd like to learn more about, please let me know so I can do that for you. Thank you so much for watching. Get educated, get support, and take control, because yes, you can get the healthy body you deserve. Bye.